this is Chris. Welcome back to another episode of San Diego's Historic Backcountry. In this video, we're going to be looking at a really neat little ruin that's in the mountains of San Diego County. It's a little pioneer cattleman's cabin. There were actually a couple of them here, as we'll see in the video. Not much left of it, and a tree fell on it a few months ago that didn't help it out any. But we'll take a look at what's left of this neat little cabin. I do have some footage of it before the tree fell on it as well, so you can see what it looked like. This brings up a point that we're going to see going forward in some of my videos here, that I need to be protective of some of these places and not say where everything is. And this is a good example of that. This is a place where I'm just going to tell you it's in the mountains, and you're going to have to be okay with that because that's all you're going to get from me. This is a very sensitive kind of site and not something that I want to put out on social media. The location of things like this. So the other thing that is probably going to happen on some of my videos as well is to help maintain the locations on some of these things as being a little bit private, is I'm probably going to disable comments on some of my videos as well, so that I don't have to look at every comment that's ever left on my channel to see if somebody's saying where a location is. That's something that I'm trying not to say on social media. So anyway, I hope you understand that. You can enjoy the places for what they look like and the history behind them without actually having to know exactly how to get there. So come along and let's look at this really neat little ruin of a pioneer cabin in the mountains. So what we're going to see is this little ruin of a log cabin in the mountains. This was a cattleman's cabin, sort of cattle and ranching family who built this. Probably in the 1890s, 1900 period, probably not any later than that, and it could even be a little bit earlier. This particular family was ranching in the mountains by about the mid-1870s or so. So you can see there's not much left of it. It's only got about 3 or 4 logs high off the ground at most here. That oak tree on the left there lost a big branch into this, which didn't help it any, sort of knocked a few of the logs off. So we'll take a look here in just a minute what it looked like before that branch fell on it. You can see it's just a very typical little log cabin, very crude, very basic. Little bit of sawn lumber in it around the window frames, but not much. Most of it's these hand-hewn logs, and they look like they're pretty much hand-notched as well. They are cut with like a push-pull saw probably, but the actual notching to make the log cabin was probably done by hand. So we can see here at the end a typical notching done on the logs here to stack them up. This was the fireplace over here at this end. This was in a little bit better shape before that tree branch fell on it. There's a big heavy piece of strap iron that went across here to sort of hold up the fireplace, or frame the fireplace. That's still in there, but you can't really tell what it was as much anymore. In a minute here we'll see what that looked like before the tree fell on it. Little bit of metal around. There's a stove top right down here in the lower left. Somebody sort of braced up there. There's another couple of pieces of metal in there. A few little smashed cans and things, but not much. Like I said, this was one of 2 cabins, actually, that were on the site. We'll look at what's left of the other one here in just a minute. You can see the notching, again, of the cabin walls. So this wood, these are just pine logs, and these have been laying out in the open like this for at least probably 120 years. So that this even exists is really remarkable. It means there haven't been any ground fires through here or anything. Very unusual to find something like this in the mountains. I stumbled across this a number of years ago. There used to be quite a few little log cabins in sort of all of the mountain areas of San Diego County. The pioneer families and ranching families, even if their main ranch was quite a ways away, if they were seasonally grazing cattle or sheep in the mountains, they would build a little cabin like this for sort of their camp. If you look at some of the really old maps from back in the 1870s, 1880s, you'll see little cabins and even some little adobe houses sort of scattered around through the mountains that are these early grazing camps. So let's go back and look real quick here before the tree branch fell on it, and show you what it looked like just a few years ago. This was 2015. So this is that same door without the tree branch laying on it. So you can see it was in a little bit better shape then. This wall is actually still underneath there. You just can't see it as well because it's got those sort of twiggy branch laying over the top of it. So really special little cabin, really unique place. You just don't come across something like this very often. The notch for a window there. There's what that fireplace looked like before it got knocked over. It had that metal bar to help hold the rocks up over the hearth there to create the opening. There's that same piece of stove metal, just a little bit away from where it is now. You can see a couple little logs laying in there. Really neat, unique little cabin. And like I say, I'm not going to say where this is. I know what family built this, but that would kind of give it away too. This was the other one. This is the one that was next to it. You can see what happened to it. Same thing's going to happen to the what we're looking at. Just a little sort of pile of wooden rubble on the ground. And then just a few years ago, this big oak tree fell on it. So now you can't even see that really anymore. You can see a little bit of lumber on the ground there. But an outline of a cabin about the same size. So you had two different cabins here. This may not have even been the actual ranch family living in this or staying in this. It could have been the hired help who were grazing cattle and different livestock in the mountains. So you can see this one's pretty messed up with the big oak tree on it. Kind of protects it though. It sort of hides the outline of the cabin on the ground. So probably not particularly a bad thing. A little piece of metal banding on the ground, but not much at this site. But really interesting, unique place to stumble across and realize, oh my gosh, there's no log cabin ruin over there. So I just want to make this quick video to show you what this old log cabin ruin looks like. And thank you for coming along for another video, and I hope to see you in the next one.